Hey everyone, welcome to Story Voyage. Today we've got a gripping story that will make you question trust and wonder what happens when it's broken. Get comfortable and prepare for a tale of betrayal, heartbreak, and unexpected strength. I'm still trying to wrap my head around how all of this happened. It feels like I'm trapped in some twisted soap opera, but it's my life. I thought we had a strong marriage. We had the typical ups and downs, sure, but nothing we couldn't talk through over a cup of coffee or a night in. I always believed that if we kept the communication open, we'd be fine. That's why it caught me so off guard when I started noticing little changes in my wife, Sarah. At first, I brushed it off as stress from her job. She'd been taking on extra hours, coming home late, and seemed distracted even when she was around. But then those late nights became more frequent, and the work emergencies seemed to line up a little too conveniently. One night, she came home much later than usual, smelling like a different cologne. When I pointed it out, she laughed it off, saying it was probably from someone at the office. But something in her eyes told me there was more to the story. My gut started churning, a mix of fear and anger bubbling up, but I held it in, hoping it was just paranoia. I didn't want to be that husband, the one who suspects every move. Still, the feeling gnawed at me. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I checked her phone. I felt guilty, even ashamed, but I needed answers. And there they were, texts from a guy named Mark. He was the friend she'd mentioned once or twice, some guy she met at a work seminar. The messages were flirty, with hints that things had gone beyond that. My stomach dropped. I confronted her that night. She tried to deny it at first, but I wasn't about to let her gaslight me. Eventually, she admitted to seeing him, but swore it was nothing serious, just a mistake. She apologized, told me she'd end it, and begged for another chance. I wanted to believe her. I really did. We had years together, and I loved her. But something in me told me she wasn't being completely honest. A few weeks passed, and she seemed like her old self again. For a while, I convinced myself that maybe we could get past this. But one night when she thought I was asleep, I overheard her whispering into her phone. She was saying his name again, Mark, in a tone that was far too intimate. That was the final straw. I felt a surge of anger like I'd never felt before. I knew I needed to confront her again, but this time I wanted the truth, all of it. The next morning, as we sat at the breakfast table in silence, I looked her dead in the eye and asked, "Do you love him?" She froze. All the color drained from her face, and she sat there completely paralyzed. I could see the fear in her eyes, the way her brain was scrambling for an answer. It was as if I'd uncovered her deepest secret, and now she couldn't lie her way out. After what felt like an eternity, she whispered, "I don't know, that was it." I felt something inside me shatter. I had prepared myself for anger, for yelling, for anything but the hollow emptiness that followed her words. I stood up, grabbed my keys, and left the house. I drove around aimlessly for hours, trying to understand how the woman I loved could be so unsure about us. The betrayal cut deep, but her indifference hurt even more. In the end, I decided I deserved someone who was sure about me, who didn't have to hesitate when it came to love. I moved out that same week. It wasn't easy, but it was the closure I needed to begin moving on. And you know what? I don't regret it. The pain of the truth is better than the comfort of a lie. Thank you for staying with us till the end. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any new stories that make you think and feel right along with the characters. See you next time on Story Voyage.